like some heroes did. And over in the House of Assembly, they say I can't read and how I don't see. I cut through the socks of the whole of them, but I have to decorate Parliament. Give me your support. I ready to work. Representation for all intentions, man and woman. Yes, for everyone. So I put in Cummins' chair in the house. He won't have no excuse when he walk out. I don't get an X-ray machine from now.
WEFM, a clean, fresh sound.
WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
And wasting no time, it is 7:45 in SVG. And guess who we have on the line? Announce thyself, young one. Hello?
Morning, Miss Samuel.
Morning. How are you?
Yeah, fine, thank you. You by yourself?
Good morning. Good morning, Kingsley.
Hey, morning. I listen, Miss Samuel, you spoke earlier about the issue of gun-related incident that seemed to take place recently. Have you ever experienced somebody holding a gun at you, or do you ever see a gun, Miss Samuel?
Yes, I've seen guns, physically, but not it being held to me, no. Mm-mm.
Oh, when you say you see guns already, you mean somebody who has a legal gun or somebody who didn't have a legal gun?
Yes, only legal, Kingsley, only legal. You're trying to get me and people in trouble?
Because I would have expected you to encourage that person to relinquish that gun. Because hey, what happened, right? Over the last couple of years, notice that the Minister of National Security / commissioners of police trying to encourage Vincent to relinquish their firearm if they ever had one. But we never really get a report to see if that amnesties were very successful in the past. So we have to, like you say, sit and wait on the police to see if it was rewarded. But we could come to our conclusion and say that persons who have illegal firearms seem not to want to give them up because the amount of gun-related incidents that we are seeing taking place in Simpson and the Grenades. Well, I had my experience recently, and I could tell you it's not something that Vincent would like to experience because you don't know if that person gun is loaded or you don't know if it is empty. So you have to take a chance. It's a life and death situation. But it's frightening because when we're going with this issue of guns and amnesty and things like that, I could remember quite recently, chairman of a mercy committee decided to pardon a woman for brandishing a gun on Facebook. Was that a good message? I don't think that was a good message. Regardless to how close you know the person should be made to pay some time for the crime. But it is what it is, and it are people who, because people may say, well, he's speaking like that because of recent past. But I had an extreme recent past where somebody was accused of killing my son on September 20th, 2 years ago. And when it reaches home to you, you get to realize how dangerous it is. And some people will say, oh, this is Kingsley singing like a cry baby. No, me singing like a cry baby. I sound like what is taking place and what I experienced is a terrible thing. And I'm hoping that the members of the Grenades police force, especially the ones who work at CID and serious crime unit, when people really report a gun-related threat, gun-related incident, they should take that report seriously and try their best to investigate the incident. Because the Samuel, where I'm living, seem to be a relatively good area. But I have been targeted 7 times. 7. You come from 1 to the 7, then you stop. Where persons are a particular person because there's a pattern, broke into my place and it went to the extreme where the person said, well, I am breaking and waiting for you when you come out. And that is a confrontation that I don't recommend to the greatest enemy that I have. Because you might say, you have some? Of course I have some. I could name up one. The person who did what they did, you said, you have to be an enemy. And it's really frustrating that our country, beloved country, has become a place where you have to walk and look over your shoulder and hoping when you're going home or when you're leaving home to go to work and morning like you leave early, that some vagabond who has a gun in their possession think it is their right to hold you up and demand whatever you have. So I agree with you that over the last couple of weeks and soon after, immediately after Carnival, we tell people here that Carnival was a success because we didn't have a gun-related crime. But soon after, and I agree with you with one of your analysis that something like a gun-related incident happened after Carnival. The organizers will say, oh, well, we're not associated with that because they're not happening on. But it still has a negative impact on Finlayson again. Like I say, Ms. Samuel, I drive people from all over the world every day. And when they ask me, how is the crime situation in Finlayson again, I have to remember first, I'm an ambassador. Second, I have to remember I'm a Vincent. Third, I have to remember myself that you can't wash the dirty linen in public. So people read and they make inquiry of the crime of a country whenever they come. But as a taxi driver, I can't disclose them negative to the people coming to me. So I have to make it sound like this place is God's self. It might not be the truth, but you can't wash the dirty in public. For instance, our neighbor territory, Barbados, incident of gun-related crime takes place there. They have 7 newspapers. You have to go look in your newspaper to see that. In St. Vincent and Grenadines, if a gun-related incident took place, it comes as a sensational issue. This is flat on the front page of the newspapers, and people think, well, that is a good selling point, and people will sell for what is being published on the front page. So I'm the kind of people to just be mindful how you sell Finlayson again. Yes, the reality confronted us every day. But what is important is our country and the state of health of our country. All right, have a wonderful day. We'll see you right here tomorrow morning, bright and early.
All right, Kingsley, don't just run just your time. But how are you? Though, like, it's a serious question, not a surface question. How are you?
Well, I just hung in there. I felt how I feel. I feel discouraged. I feel like all is not well. But like you say, I don't want to adopt the cry baby attitude because you have people who say, oh, you used to always defend people and the issue of when somebody kills somebody. I don't believe in using the word, Ms. Samuel, murder. I think that is a strong word for you to use on the radio or when you're writing something on Facebook. But I'm having a change of mind. So it's just a phase that I'm going through, and it is what it is, okay?
Okay.
And thanks for correcting me. Have a wonderful day.
You too, Kingsley. All right. All right, so that was Kingsley with his commentary for today. And I suppose coming down there to the end, as a thought that I expressed last week is, so Kingsley might be going about his daily life because he has to, right? He has to earn an income. He has to earn a living. But the effects of what happened to him last week, they are going to stay with him for a long time, right? And when he asked me the question, if I've ever been robbed, in terms of seeing a gun, if anybody has ever held a gun to me, the answer is no. But I also would never want to have that happen to me because it is one of those situations that I believe it's going to cause me, I mean, well, number one, I love to be in my house, right? But it's going to cause me to want to be in my house even more, right? I don't want to have to go through that sort of situation. But all right, we have a caller. Hi, caller. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Yes. Kingsley, he come a cry, baby.
He said he doesn't want to become a, hold on, he doesn't want to become a crybaby.
Oh, because he always label people as crybaby. Tell Kingsley you have to be truthful when you're describing St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Okay, and another thing. Tell Kingsley he has on the same shoes that Mr. John had on when a gun was pointed at him. Yeah? When Mr. John and he was scolded to, pointed to shut his mouth. So Kingsley is reliving what Mr. John had prospect, what happened to him. Yeah, because Kingsley admired that person. So you see how things has happened? So I wonder what he's saying now. All right.
All right, my silence is because I don't know how to respond to that last one. All right. You see, I suppose it might be difficult for some persons to show empathy towards Kingsley because of who Kingsley is. Kingsley has always been vocal about different things, and I can see why some persons, not that I'm giving it a pass, but some persons might be polarized in terms of their views with regards to what happened to him. All right. Dave, good morning. Dave Roberts, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. I'm just lucky to be following what's going on here. You see the kind of reaction you get right away? Why do you think you get that reaction? St. Vincent is not the place that it used to be at one time. Huh? And when certain people say certain things, you ever hear this saying just come back to haunt you? Huh? If you on a radio station can make a big joke, a big laugh, mocking people, this is something I notice about us as a people, and that's why you see I have learned how to cope with some Vincentians or certain Vincentians and so on, right? Because you pull on people, you say something bad about people, you think people are not listening and have their own feelings when you hurt them by trying to describe them as all kind of different things. Come on. Use your head, use your brain. Next thing you hear, next thing you hear, well, this is Vincentian style or Vincentian way and so on. The truth will always stand. Good will always be good and bad will always be bad. I just take note of that. That's why I'm sending out a message to warn those of us who take pleasure in pulling down one another, describing them in all different ways. Take warning. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Dave. All right. All right. I think I'm going to leave that alone. All right. Because persons are going to have their own opinions or feelings towards that situation. So I don't think I should. All right. We take that final call and I'll say something else after. Hi, caller. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, my lady.
Good morning. And how are you?
And
What's my name?
Moisha, your name?
What's my name?
Moisha? well, maybe you look like somebody who look like I thought about Moisha.
All right.
So,
new name for me, folks.
Okay, if that's a new name, would I the closest I could call it because my remembrance doesn't be so good.
All right, no problem. What's up today?
But what I was saying, no, everybody in Sylvan has their own point of view. They criticize, they talk what they want to talk. Whether democracy or what, we explain ourselves. These two callers that now calling about Kingsley is two downright evil hypocrites. And they said something keep dedicated. But I want to lady supposed to be education and Dave. But some downright hypocrite, out of way, spiteful, bad mind, and looking to achieve their own agenda. By hating the prize, the Bible tells us that. These people are not suited to be Vincent Chan. They really not suited to call Vincent Chan. A man like Kingsley, who does he don't criticize the NDP alone, he criticize Labour Party, criticize. He talk with I always have called it criticize. Kingsley is a fair guy when coming on issue. He talk like how he see it. Maybe sometimes he might go by board with certain little thing, but I wouldn't blame him for that because he tried best to be a good human being in life. And if Kingsley could, well, what about me? So if something happened to me, I'm glad. Because I don't be criticizing people too. When because I figure I'm right. And most of the time I go get, most of the time I don't never get sued. Because what happens, most of the things I talking is true. So what happened now, I to say that Kingsley, and with Dave and them using about running down people and all that thing. So therefore, Kingsley we could say is a setup then. Because the Kingsley don't run on people. So they after Kingsley then. It's a setup. To make it to shut him up to scare them or something. You know the kind of problem Kingsley going through? Eh? But my pricing are going at you and all them kind of things, this one, and take your money. And you as a man, Dave, and an woman, they don't have a heart to criticize and condemn that old bad-minded, rugged people. You encourage them to go on the football. And to do something to help yourself.
All right.
They have so much jokes and all kind of thing, and lawless people still been so.
All right,
Stephen. You know
why? All right.
You know why? Because these people like Dave and this woman, they be who encouraging these things.
All right.
The man, I run them down and police to hold him.
All right,
Okay,
all right,
man.
Stephen. All right, all right. You have any thoughts?
No. Nah.
All right. So the only thing that I would say to this, right, is I personally would never, even if somebody is my enemy, and I'm saying this, that everybody is entitled to your opinion. You are allowed to express your opinion, as long as it's not slanderous, as long as it's not defamatory. And as long as it's for the most based on facts, right? That everybody is allowed to express their opinion. But I would personally say that even if somebody is an enemy of mine, or even if somebody I don't agree most times with an individual, I would not rejoice in their suffering. No, I know that the reason why some persons are saying what they're saying towards Kingsley is because of things that he said or he may have said previously, right? But one of the things that I've come to realize in life is that when you find yourself in a situation that you may have previously commented on, it changes your whole perspective and your outlook on things. All right. So he has now found himself in this particular situation. And for me, let's just give him some time. Let's just give him some time to recover from what has happened. And then maybe we would hear what his real thoughts are with regards to whatever it is he has expressed before. All right. So at this point in time, I don't think it's correct to be beating him up because, as I said before, many times I have said that I am not going to do certain things. I've had an opinion on certain things until I found myself in the same situation where it is because I'm getting older, because I'm going through new experiences, my outlook on things and my perspective on things have had to change. All right. So let's see what happens from here on out. All right. And that is probably the best thing I could say towards that entire conversation that has happened since Kingsley called in, right? There was one thing that Kingsley mentioned about the amnesty and not being sure if it is successful. And generally, whenever the amnesty comes to an end, the police tend to hold a press briefing where all the guns that were surrendered are usually on display. Now, if we're asking about success in terms of does it then lead to a decrease in gun-related incidents. I don't have the stats, so I can't speak on that, right? But whenever there is an amnesty, when it comes to an end, there is usually a press briefing from the police. And for me, even if it's just 4 guns this show, it means that it's 4 less guns in the hands of persons who should not have weapon or illegal weapons. All right. So, yeah, folks. Yeah. All right. We're going to head on out.